I was leaving Randy's Children's Hospital. My son had just got admitted for an asthma attack. I'm headed over to go meet my baby girl that had just been born. The car struck the side of my car and I go spinning out of control.
It hit the center median.
Wow.
If it wasn't for that wall, Your Honor, I could have been dead.
My son, he had asked me for large sums of money, and I need that back. And I see him buying Gucci a la Rucci and everything else. The co-defendant is like a daughter to me, and I've done everything for Roxana except give birth. Now she's also defaulted.
Plaintiff Casey Kyagan claims the defendant caused a car accident that turned her life upside down. She's suing for $5,000 for expenses associated with the accident. Defendant, Fundi and Johnny, claims he's not the one who caused the accident. He says he owes nothing.
Do you swear the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, I do.
Yes, I do.
Thank you. The Honorable Judge Jerry Springer now presiding. Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning, Najee. How are you?
I'm doing well, Judge. Thank you.
Good.
This is case number 060 on the docket.
Okay.
Kyagan versus Njani.
Thank you, and
You're welcome, Judge.
to both of you. We have here the plaintiff, Casey Kyagan, and you are suing the defendant, Fundi and Johnny, for $5,000 for car damage, rental costs, and car payment due to a car accident. Let's begin with you, Casey.
On September 15th, 2019, my vehicle was involved in an auto accident on the I-8 East Freeway in San Diego, California.
Okay.
The defendant had collided with my vehicle, the 2007 Acura TL, and my vehicle...
Were you driving the car?
I was not. A friend of mine had borrowed my car.
Were you in the car?
I was not. I was not there.
You're here as the plaintiff because it's your car that was damaged.
Correct, and I'm the registered owner. So the 2007, my vehicle, it was impacted on driver's side. From there, it did a nice spin on the freeway and then stopped. The defendant's car also, I believe, spun out, and it hit the center median.
Wow.
There were witnesses, and the police arrived, and the police made a police report. So the whole back side of the driver's side of the vehicle was damaged. It was smushed in and needed to be replaced. So there's damage to the left quarter panel. The bumper covers needed to be replaced. Back tire and rims were destroyed. So there was just a lot of damages in that part. His insurance assumed full liability, 100% liability for the accident.
How much was the damage to your car?
Approximately $8,500.
And you have submitted here the estimates?
Oh, yes.
And the costs, yes. And that gets to 8,000 something. Okay, then what?
Because the damages exceeded the policy limits, they only were able to offer $5,000.
Let me hear from Fundi. What about that?
Your Honor, I would like to say, first of all, by starting saying that she wasn't even there. One. Two, I was leaving Randy's Children's Hospital. My son had just got admitted for an asthma attack. So I'm at Randy's Children's Hospital. I leave my son there because he had to stay. I leave my son there, get on the freeway, I-8 traveling east. I'm in my second lane from the far left. Mind you, she's not there. I'm headed over to Grossmont Hospital to go meet my baby girl that had just been born for the first time.
Congratulations on that.
I'm driving, normal speed limit. I noticed a car, I don't know if he was trying to get off the exit, and that was in his exit, but he tried to get back in lane, and it struck the side of my car, and I go spinning out of control to where I hit the wall. If it wasn't for that wall, Your Honor, I could have been dead.
I believe, looking at the pictures and looking at the police report,
yes,
I believe this could have been a lot worse.
Yes, it could have been a lot worse.
Do we have accident video?
Yes, we do. I have.
Oh, okay. Let me take a look at that. The car you were driving, is that the Honda?
Yes.
Okay, that is on. It's showing up here as kind of beige. There, this is according to you. Oh, the plaintiff came up from behind. Let me try that again, okay? Here it comes from behind, and it's from the right side. Okay, that is how you saw the accident.
Yes, sir.
Now, I understand, first of all, just to put this in perspective, you had one sick child that you were leaving in the hospital, and you were racing, or at least excited about getting to the next hospital to see your other baby born.
Yes, sir.
Right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so that's the mindset then you're in. Now, the plaintiff has submitted the police report, and the police found and the insurance company found you responsible for the accident. You changed lanes. Go ahead.
Yeah, Your Honor, I'm sorry. I object to that because I wasn't changing lanes at all. I didn't change lane. He just came from the side and just bumped the side of my car, and I was spinning out of control. I didn't have not one person come up to me and ask me what happened. None of that. And when the police showed up to the scene, he just showed up to the scene and asked me, am I all right? And he just took off to go talk to the other person.
What did the driver say to you, Casey?
The driver had explained to me the situation. He actually called immediately after, actually when the police were on their way.
Yeah.
They were just arriving. And he explained to me exactly what happened. And then I had spoken to him after that, and he did say that, that there were witnesses. He got the witnesses' names and phone numbers, and that if they needed to be contacted, that they were all more than willing, as the witnesses gave statements to the police officers.
And we have here in the police report that witness statement indicating exactly what the plaintiff just said, that the witness observed you coming up and then swerving to your right into the lane of the plaintiff's car. So we have the witness's observation and statement to the police and the police report and the insurance company. You know, just as a human being, I can understand that there's a lot going on in your mind right then. But if we have the witness's observation and report, the police report, and the insurance company, your own insurance company, I think if your insurance company had any thought that it wasn't your fault, insurance companies are not very happy to be paying out money when they think there's a chance they won't have to. So based on that, I find for the plaintiff in the sum of $5,000.
Thank you, Your Honor.
It is what it is. I just want to move on forward with my life. That $5,000, I don't personally have it to give to her. You know what I mean? But that's it. I'm ready to go home with my family.
I'm so very thankful for Judge Jerry. I'm very happy with the verdict. If I ever have another case, I promise you I will be calling him again.
Plaintiff Jacqueline Jackson has two separate claims today. She's suing her son for $5,000 and his ex for $2,300 for unpaid loans and credit cards. Defendants Antoine King and Roxana Castillo each claim they don't owe the plaintiff, and Roxana is countersuing for $143 for roadside assistance charges.
The whole truth and nothing but the truth?
Yes. I do.
I do.
Thank you. This is case number 077 on the docket.
Okay.
Jackson versus King and Castillo.
Thank you. Let me see what we have here. We have the plaintiff, Jacqueline Jackson. You are suing your son, Antoine King, for $5,000 for reimbursement of money loaned and unpaid credit cards. You are also suing a second defendant, Roxana Castillo, for $2,300 for, it says here, unpaid credit card debt. And Roxana, the defendant, you are countersuing for $142 for AAA renewals. So, Jacqueline, why don't you start off and tell us what your suit is about?
The two defendants, Antoine King, that's my son that lives with me, and his other two children that we've been raising together the past 18 or so years. And he had asked me for a loan just to consolidate things when he was on a break from work. But he's come to actually kind of default on that, even though when I see him buying Gucci a la Rucci, coming in with matching clothes, shoes to match, and everything else. The co-defendant is Roxana Castillo, who I've known for many years. She's also the mother of one of my grandchildren, but she's like a daughter to me, and I've done everything for Roxana except give birth. She had needed some monies in order to retain attorney for some business that she needed to take care of. So in the past, she has paid me back. I agreed to do it. But now she's also defaulted.
So let me start with you, Antoine. Your mom has given you some loans over time and says you haven't been timely in paying back.
I just started back really working like these last 2 weeks,
you know, and then the bills all of a sudden came. I have been out of work for the last 4 or 5 months. All of a sudden, she came up with a lawsuit. And as far as me coming in the house with all types of clothes and Gucci and this and that, I think she's getting me a little bit confused with my son.
Jacqueline, what specifically did you loan your son? It was something with credit cards and something in cash.
Part of it was cash. He had a couple of miscellaneous items that he had wanted to, I think, maybe lay away, and he might have been a couple of months behind on his child support, so that was what he had needed cash for. The credit cards, he had had a couple of major car repairs that he had put on the credit cards, the truck that he uses, you know, to get back and forth to work.
The credit card, is that $4,500?
If you look at
and those are your
Exhibit
credit
A,
cards? Those are
yes,
your
my
credit
credit cards.
And that's Exhibit A.
Also Exhibit B and C.
Was he making monthly payments or?
Yes, he would
Or
give
was there
me
any-
the cash, and as far as, you know, monthly payments, and I would put it on the card.
That's when I was working
Right.
full-time job. I haven't worked a full-time job since like December of last year.
Well, what about that, Mom? He's your son, and obviously you were nice enough to loan him the money, and he was working, but when he was laid off, you would give him some space then, wouldn't you?
But then the payments have not started back. Well, I'm his mother, right, but I'm a bill too.
Let me ask you, Antoine, what is your relationship with your mom like?
We come together on certain things, some things we don't.
He knows my motto that if I see you doing good, trying to help, and yes, he does excellent around the house, also with his 2 other children, you know, that I'm helping he raise, that he's had since they were infants almost. But, you know, when it comes to responsibility and large sums of money, I need that back. That's my motto. I have bills too.
I'm writing down your motto. I have bills too. Okay. Yeah. Now let me hear from Roxana there. What do you have to say in your defense? She says you owe $2,500 that she put on a credit card, and you've paid some of it back?
When we first opened this agreement and she loaned me the money, the first statement that I got said minimum was $25 to $100 a month. So the first statement came around, and I paid a little more than the $25, which I believe the first one I paid was $80.
Why did she loan you the money?
Because I asked her.
What did you need it for?
I needed to take care of some legal paperwork with immigration.
Oh, okay, good.
And it required an attorney. So it was used for attorney fees.
So you started out paying her back.
A total of $200.
Okay, you paid back
I
$200.
paid almost
of the-
$300.
Okay,
Almost $300, Judge.
What else were you saying? I don't want to cut you off. What else were you saying about that in your defense?
What I was saying was that I started off paying, I believe I paid the first payment was $80. And then was because I had extra money to pay. I didn't want to pay the minimum because this is a huge loan, and I wanted to get it out of the way as fast as possible. So I continued to pay what I could at the time, and at times it would be $50, at times it would be $100, and then I get pulled with a whole contract where it stated that I needed to pay $100 every month. I was kind of against the wall, so I went ahead and signed it because I was already into the agreement. So I signed it, but I went back to what the statement said, which was $25 to $100, and I stayed at the $80 or $50. Last month, I didn't pay.
I'm looking here at the exhibit. This is kind of interesting here. There is an addendum to the contract that you signed, which you signed on the 14th of June. And this is an addendum. And this says, with the loan being $2,500, which it was, the first 15 months interest-free, all of that will be applied to go to the principal. And then the interest will be variable. But what is most interesting in this addendum is the plaintiff deems 2 years and 24 months to be a reasonable time to have the loan paid in full. This being said, the loan will come to term and last payment made no later than May 12th, 2022. And it's signed by both of you, plaintiff and defendant. So if this is the case, that it doesn't have to be paid in full until May 12th of 2022, on that suit, I would say to Jacqueline, the plaintiff, against her, your suit is not yet ripe. In other words, what both of you signed an agreement to was that she doesn't have to pay, it doesn't have to be paid in full until 2022. And since it isn't 2022 yet, she's not yet in violation of that particular loan. Now, with your son, it's something different.
Your Honor, yes, it is ripe. And just to back up on what she said, she signed a contract before she borrowed the money, so she wasn't held against the wall. If you look at Exhibit A, the original contract was April 5th, which she's stating she is borrowing from me. Because
yeah,
what I
yeah,
did,
I understand
all right,
that.
right.
I understand
but then
that.
also,
but
if the payments
addendum,
are in more than any 30 days late, or she hasn't made the payments, to preserve my credit rating, the full balance is due and owed immediately.
Right.
Now, the last payment she made was August. She missed a payment, and there's also late fees.
I understand that. But you signed that on April 9th. But on June 14th, subsequent to that, on June 14th, you both signed an addendum which altered the original terms. You didn't have to sign that. You didn't have to agree to that, but you did. And the change in the original contract says that it will not be due in full until 2022. If you had not added the addendum to the contract, you would be right. But because you did alter the original contract, it now is 2022. It has to be paid in full. Let me now get to your suit against your son. Your suit against your son has validity. This money is owed to your mom, and you're now back to working. She is entitled to the $5,000. For the countersuit, for $142, I'm going to dismiss that.
She accepted it. Okay.
So here we go. On the suit against your son, Antoine, I find for the plaintiff for $5,000. For the suit against Roxana, I find that the suit is not yet ripe, so I will dismiss it without prejudice.
Don't mess with mama's money.
It's just all been a stressful situation. She now has her money and she's paid, and I can go back to work, and I'm ready to go home.
Hey, YouTube, thanks for watching. For more Judge Jerry, click here. For more Jerry Springer, click here.